Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Leo December 6, 2022. Building strong foundations that will benefit you for years to come can appeal more than usual right now, particularly in your relationships and work. There are better times to launch a big project, but today is excellent for planning and developing. You're also well positioned for a greater understanding of a matter. Supportive emotional connections or family relationships can figure strongly. If it would benefit you to get a little more comfortable with your deeper needs and desires, this is a time for making an effort. You can learn something that helps you many times over. Prepare for Neptune to be casting dark energy over your day yet again. Known as the planet of delusion and mystery, Neptune is always ready to stir the pot. Today, he will clash violently in a square with sweet Venus, the planet of love and beauty. Prepare for disappointing and heartbreaking news about personal and romantic relationships to come out if things have been rocky or hidden. Yet, if you and your sweetheart are on steady ground, you may pass through this more easily, not being afflicted by the depressing vibes. While you'll surely feel a bit more emotional, it may be best to spend some time alone at home in solitude. Try to navigate your commitment and partnerships accordingly. You might feel a little scatterbrained as Venus in Sagittarius squares Neptune in Pisces. It is possible that you may have bitten off more than you can chew, both professionally and personally. Although you try to be of service to others, just know that you cannot please everyone that you may meet. So, it might be best to cut down on your obligations today during this square. However, be clear about what you can and cannot fulfill during this square to avoid miscommunication. As the moon not only leaves your financial sector but wraps up its last visit before Jupiter's return will begin an important 5 months for financial growth and expansion, this has done more than just leave you with your financial instincts and imagination fueled. As well as a chance to lay some old financial ghosts to rest, this has also helped to fire up your financial passions and fighting spirit. The current planetary influence encourages you to question your personal habits. At the same time, you feel mistrustful of the exercise, as though there would be criticism from the universe for anything less than perfect. It is important to notice if this is going on, because it is the key to breaking down a system of denial. When we feel judged, we deny the behavior in question. When we feel a sense of acceptance, we can embrace change. Don't be too surprised if you find yourself thinking about ways to better organize your life and home today. This is a common result of this day, making this an opportune time to act on those thoughts. If you haven't reviewed your goals or agenda lately, consider doing this. If you don't have any kind of organization system yet, turn this around by getting one started. Time management can make all the difference in the chaos level of your day-to-day life. For the first time since Jupiter retrograde back into your relationship sector, both he and Neptune are looking to the future. It was Jupiter's direct turn 10 days earlier that brought a chance to look to the future while still having your focus on the past. That all changed when Neptune turned direct yesterday. Meanwhile, the moon is wrapping up its last visit to your financial sector before Jupiter returns, leaving you with your financial instincts and imagination fueled and a download of information, insights, and messages to unpack. Neptune's first full day in direct motion in your relationship sector follows on from Jupiter's direct turn here 10 days earlier, something that has already started to see the focus shift away from the past. This makes this something you were already adjusting to, making it easier to shift your attention from the past and onto the journey ahead. Our eyes in the sky. Emotional frustration could loom early this morning as the moon takes its final steps in Aries before entering Taurus. While the vibe here is mostly sunny, there is a cosmic aspect that could make emotions run wild. Anyone could take arguments to the next level, but you're creating drama on your own today. Sowing the seeds of a new beginning, you implement changes in your career. Loved ones have complete faith in you and assist you by discussing the pros and cons of your plans. Success makes others envious, so don't become too big-headed. guard against potential losses by calmly considering the pitfalls and guard against them as best as you can. Even when events aren't running smoothly, and you come up against difficulties wherever you look, you can still deal with these seemingly adverse conditions in a laid-back manner and see them as a challenge. If something isn't going as you planned, actual outcomes and the obstacles you overcome on the way just serve to make the journey more interesting. Since the moon is in such a tempestuous place right now, try to postpone any serious discussions until tomorrow. Instead, use the evening to focus on self-care, and allow yourself to heal from any emotional wounds you might have suffered or inflicted during the day. A good way to make amends would be to relinquish the need to be right and own the consequences of your behavior. There are nice ways to express yourself that won't cause turmoil and issues with those you care deeply about. If you want a situation to change, it's important to choose your words wisely. In the pre-dawn hours, the moon enters Taurus, exiting its void of course which began last night. Under this exalted moon, we tend to be more relaxed. We'll require extra motivation to get us up and energized over the next 2 days. Yet, once we gain momentum, there's virtually no stopping us. Just imagine a bull with its eye fixed upon the matador's flag. A slow amble ramps up to a full-on charge. All our emotions, from anger to passion, function with the same fervor now. Throw off hindrances from the past, use this freed-up mental energy to begin new projects and develop a more creative approach. Don't be afraid to start afresh in personal relationships, revive friendships instead and rid yourself of long-standing encumbrances. This may cause some confusion at first but eventually pays off. Your inner sense of calm helps. Similarly, we are as stubborn as the bull. Once we have made a choice or determined our position on a subject, we are apt to dig in our heels, rather than relent. Over the next 2.5 days, we attune to creature comforts, prioritizing the safety and security of our physical bodies. This is a period of nourishment through food, sleep, and movement. You rarely experience such a state of clarity and calm, which is of great help if you want to settle any disputes with work colleagues or relatives. Above all, problems which you previously thought unresolved finally disappear. Relieved of the weight of past anxieties and supported by a positive attitude, you find excitement and new freedom to shape your future. Before noon, the moon creates a sextile to Vesta, the goddess asteroid of sacred devotion, in Pisces. Here, the nourishment we provide to our physical and emotional bodies extends to our spiritual bodies as well. Devotional practices mesh seamlessly with our material needs. In fact, both inform each other, granting us a holistic sense of well-being. Our prayers could literally be answered today. Is this a matter of good timing? Perhaps a feeling of connection with our environment and our work is fueling our perception of providence? Who can say for sure? Because the sextile is an organic aspect, we might not notice its effects until later on in the day, when good karma appears to manifest by virtue of good deeds performed or ritual work executed.